Listen, man, I did not think that Oda would recreate chapter 392 bar for bar in this chapter One Piece. Oh, I had to wear the long brim today. Absolutely, man. Woo! Listen, you can watch my stream on my Cole Requiem channel, on my Twitch.tv channel. No tears were shed, 0. But it was tough. It was TUFF undeniably tough. God, my goodness, man. Because listen, I don't know when you started reading One Piece, but for me, it was around 2008. I want to say around the time of Shibuya Archipelago. So I would say 2006, 2008, somewhere around that time. And I've been with this story for a large part of my life. Even if, let's say, for example, you started reading One Piece around Whole Cake Island, meaning that you caught up to the story around Whole Cake Island and you didn't actually skip the vast majority of the series and start directly at Whole Cake Island. That's almost a decade from the beginning of Whole Cake Island. Think about that, okay? Almost a decade. You with the story, your emotional investment is high, and this chapter is focused on that, your emotional investment for the story that Oda has written, and this character, Nico Robin. Reading 1,133 chapters is one hell of a commitment, but it means something special in your heart of hearts, in your kingdom hearts. When you see Robin see Saul again, they recreate chapter 392 with their meeting, and they're so happy to see each other, and most of the crew just either elated, tears of joy, of course, seeing Luffy smile, Jinbei, you know he's smiling for damn sure, Zoro probably mewing.
Sin City was a mafia.
Obviously, I'm trolling. It is a really damn incredible moment to see Robin go through that. I'm not going to deny, though, I still have issues with Saul being alive in the first place. I'm not going to lie to you. They do explain as to how it happened, and I can understand that. But at the same time, considering the moments that we felt back then, when you find out that Kuzan had to kill his best friend, Saul, and then how that changed a lot of him, where his way of justice was literally changed because of the Ohara incident. You can see that change, let's say, from the Kuzan of the pre-time skip to Kuzan in the episode or chapter for Strong World. The fire and the passion that he had back then, he was a different dude, knowing that when he talked to Robin at the end of the Water 7 Enislabi saga, back to back against the wall, how he talked about what happened in the past, cherishing what she has now, and he wasn't gonna take her in. These things had tremendous value and weight to those moments and these characters in the past. And Saul being alive, to me, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think that Saul's being alive does in a lot of ways mitigate what happened in the past. It's not to say that him being alive now doesn't make sense. Okay, he was frozen, the fire was there, it was thawing him out, they fell to the ocean, and then we know, let's say for example, let's say Kuzan and Robin, Chopper was able to take care of her because of what? The water, and how he could use that water to thaw him out. And he did lose a leg, and he has those marks on him very similar to Kuzan now after his fight against Akainu. So the parallels and the similarities, like Oda did a good job. He did a good job trying to really like put a bandage on this wound, but the scar is still there. On paper, there are problems I still have with Saul being alive. But emotionally, in my kingdom heart of hearts, as a longtime One Piece fan, where One Piece has been a part of my life in so many major ways. Too many to count with 10 fingers and 10 toes. And Oda, I think, did a great job with the appeal to emotion in this chapter. This hit like the Super Smash Brothers hammer, and you only have one stock left. And in fact, I would say that the chapter rating, I think, is going to be very similar to how I did it in the last chapter. Where in the last chapter, I gave it a much higher rating personally, but on paper, it's a much lower rating. And on paper, what I mean is the things that I use to kind of gauge a chapter's quality based on these kind of cornerstone metrics of the pace and chapter structure, the characterization and character growth that we see in the chapter, and of course, the story element aspects of the chapter. Emotions ebb and flow for a host of reasons, but there has to be some sort of foundational bedrock that grounds us to quality. But I'm only human. Think about literally the end of Long Ring Long Land when she got frozen by Kuzan. Then the next arc, Water 7, she runs into CP9, and then she has to betray her friends, the friends that she went to Sky Island with, the friends that really took her away from that lifestyle of dishonesty, mistrust, traitors, thieves, murders, and so on. And then here you have the Strat crew, the shining light in her life, what Saul was talking about, and she has to betray her newfound friends for CP9. And then even on the way to Enies Lobby, in between arcs, what happens? Sanji and Usopp, they try and save her, and then she rebukes them. She rebukes Sanji and Usopp, actually hurts Usopp, and then she ignores Sanji, goes into Blueno's door, and then walks away. And then on Enies Lobby, what happens? She has to go through the ringer with Spandam. You have the Ikitai moment, the Robin flashback. She had to struggle and struggle and struggle up until Frankie came in there and actually saved her. And then Luffy's words to Robin when he yells out after he beats Rob Lucci. Robin has one of the greatest stretches of a character in One Piece, if not the. You can argue it's the. You really can't argue she has the greatest stretch for any character in the entire story of One Piece. And I think to this day, she is still undeniably one of the best written characters in One Piece. So in this chapter, the pace is actually pretty good. We have the crews kind of converge, and then we follow the main crew from one area to another area. And then we follow the crew from that western village, a huge, epic, mythical, giant village, to this thing called the Warrior Springs by the waterside, where these springs literally look like their own ocean, where Saul is a history teacher. He's a history teacher spreading the knowledge of the books that they had accumulated from Ohara. So again, pace-wise, it's great. In terms of character, you have more stuff for Saul, the confirmation of most of the new giant pirates. Road is sketchy right now, obviously. So let's say most of them, okay? How they are on board the Strat crew, of course. And obviously, fantastic interactions between Robin and Saul that are really well done. That again, harken back one for one with chapter 392. And we even at the very beginning of this chapter get more insight on moments that we saw kind of like pass on by in chapter 398. By the way, that old bag that sold out Robin, if I could give middle fingers on YouTube, I would raise them high. There is a comfortable seat right next to Saiyan that he has waiting for that old bag. I pray that she's deceased. She is no longer among the living, because that was like 20 plus years ago. And she is comfortably right next to good old Saint Nick. Yeah, that's what please. That would do my soul and our souls wonders to know that that old bag is down there burning and screaming. But we found out in the process that at one point in time, Robin was contemplating self-deletion. The fact that an 8-year-old child was in the first place even trying to contemplate that is insane. That is tragic. And then, no, the words of her mom, live, Robin, Ikitai, dere shishi. Again, man, the brim. Had to wear the long brim. I had to. And even in terms of, let's say, story progression and world building, right? This chapter introduces the idea that a lot of the crazy environmental phenomenon that we see is because of technology, where they have these island clouds and the rainbow roads and the Sabo bubbles and then the sea island clouds, that kind of stuff. Lilith, being Dr. Vegapunk herself, obviously, is pointing to technology as to why these things exist so harmoniously with the environment. Elbaf's unique ecosystem and atmosphere, plus its crazy technology, allows for a flying ship with oars and cloud and skyline clouds on the oars. It's crazy. Now, of course, that's her assumption. She could be wrong, fair enough, but at the same time, I do lean on her being more correct than she is wrong. Seeing the Sunny Go being picked up by Goldberg on another ship is kind of nauseating, bro. It's like this sail is the same height as like the colossal tie-in in Attack on Titan. It's like, bro, please slow down. Crazy. And so this world building of Elbaf is still there, and it's there in spades, and it's magnificent through and through. I say all that to say, obviously, in terms of the substance, this chapter has it. The blueprints, the fundamentals, are they there? Of course. And I would say, based on that and that alone, the chapter is a good chapter. It's like a 6 or 7 out of 10. When you factor in the emotional elements, right? What clearly this chapter is based on. It's subjective. It's up to you. You may not have batted an eye when you saw Saul and Robin meet. You could have been in there like Mr. Freeze, Stone Cold, no Steve Austin, Sub-Zero, Liquid Nitrogen. You just chilled out.
Cold as ice. Cold as ice.
You're a jawbreaker that was left at Winterfell.
Should we feel guilty about Johnny's predicament?
Fair enough. But to me, dude, this chapter hits like a heavy 9. Oh, man. I'm very happy for Robin. I really am, man. I really am. Woo! Saul, Robin, a great moment. A very well orchestrated moment by a Chur Oda company. Absolutely. And one that does hit the heart. Again, I don't know how you would classify a start to an arc, but I feel like Elbaf has one of the best starts to an arc I've seen, at least, let's say, an entire post-time skip. Maybe one of the best in all of One Piece. Honestly, that Elbaf is outstanding. But again, that's very subjective. Maybe in the future, I'll do a bigger video kind of breaking down the Saul issue and breaking down more of Elbaf and the lore and the elements and so on, because we're getting some breaks for One Piece because of the regular Shonen Jump holiday breaks, that kind of stuff. Plus, I think Oda's own break. Yeah, so breaks are coming. But I would say this chapter, again, fundamentally a 7. In the heart of hearts, it's a heavy 9. Heavy 9. Also, one last thing. I do have a gaming channel where we just started uploading videos to that gaming channel. It is the Cole GG channel, and we have some funny as hell Wukong video up right now, and we're going to be consistent on that channel. So check out that channel in the box below. And of course, on your way down, make sure to support your boys' content if you enjoy with the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and click on that bell to join the notification squad. Do your part. I'm gonna catch you guys and gals on the flip side.
See you. Bye-bye.